Okay. All right, looks good. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So here we are, April 18th of 2022. We got the loop running here, and maybe I'll scoot it over just a little bit more. Okay, get a little peek at what's going on there. Pull this over a little more. There we go. Bring this down a little bit. Okay. So there we are. April 18th of 2022. This is the loop running. You can see we've had a few little CMEs and kind of little scattering of, I don't know, scattering of something because there's something else different now going on in these. And I noticed it just today, and then I looked back. It started a couple of days ago, and usually I'm talking about these objects down here that are coming out with the CMEs, dragging material with them. You can see that it started with a big one. And we'll go through this frame by frame, but before we do that real quick, I want to point out this sector up here because there is stuff flowing in against the solar wind. See all this material going in? And then there's a couple of objects down here that go in as well. So when all that stuff goes in, you'll see 1, 2 right here go in. Yeah, looks like the camera's picking it up. So there's a big cluster of these objects or something going into the sun, and there's a couple more down here. And then as these things go in, it fires off a little CME. Oh wait, not on the, yeah, right there. And then when these two go in, a little CME fires off after it. So now we have some new kind of activity. This I've seen before, one little object or two or something kind of entering from the left side or from the right side, but this looks like a cluster of something, debris, objects, whatever it is. This is defying the solar wind and going opposite, going into the sun. Now, I'm not sure if we're seeing these objects hit the corona from the backside of the sun and they're squirting out down here. That could very well be the case. You see stuff go in and it bounces out and comes down this side. So let's see. As we watch this material going in, you'll see a couple more right here go in. And then all this stuff comes squirting out this side. So I'm wondering if these objects are hitting the backside and coming out, causing these little CMEs when they come out or whatever. But this activity is different now. We haven't seen it in clusters and weird grouping like this. And this is the 18th, and we're going to go back to the 17th too, because that activity was happening then as well. It started on the 16th, but then here's this activity again, the stuff going in. You can see we've had an object come out down here. It looks like we have one over here, right here. This object coming down here, and then here's our big X flare right here. And we'll go frame by frame through this. But before we do that, real quick, I just want to point out again, here's this flow of objects or material defying the solar wind. It's going in opposite the solar wind. Now there's filaments that reach up off the top of the sun and arch and reach back down, but the sun's surface is only like this big right here in the middle of this occulter. These are way far out there. They're way too out there to be material from the sun being dragged back in. This almost looks like material from another source or possibly debris, meteorite debris, or I don't know, maybe some of these objects, whatever these are. So here we are at the 17th. Hopefully that's coming in pretty good without my arm in the way. So much going on in this one, so we'll pause it here at the beginning. All right, back up a frame or two. All right. So here we are at 0100. This is the first frame of the 17th. And you can see we've already had a CME starting to happen. Another object coming out here with material trailing back behind it. So as we go forward through this, you'll see as this thing is going really slow when it comes out. This one pops out really fast. And is almost out of the screen before this is even starting to halfway out. So let's back up a little bit here because I want you to see over on this red side it comes in a little bit better here. Okay, let's get rid of these wavy lines here. Alright, hopefully you can see we have this little black dot right here. Here's our core, our object coming out here. And then right here is a good shot. So let's blow this up a little bit. Get the wavy lines out of the way there. So here's our object right here. Nice, round, perfectly circular object draped in solar material, surrounded by it. And then as that continues to emerge, it goes out of frame. And that one was done, Planet X, Scott over at Planet X News did a report on this object, and go over to his site and check out his video where he took his forensic filter and cleaned up this object right here, and you can see it a lot clearer. But for the moment we're moving on. So back to this side a little bit here. As we continue through it, this object moves on out. You can see the flames, or not flames, but plasma streaking back behind this, still being stretched and pulled off of the surface of the sun there. Okay, so we've got this object. We still got this one coming out in slow motion here as we progress forward through this. Hi, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. No, that flare isn't facing the sun, the Earth, so we're okay on that. Let's move ahead here, though. Anyway, so we had this object that we just reported on. Go over to Planet X. He cleaned it up really good. Take a look at it. Over here, it appears we have another object coming out nice and slow. Let's just blow it up real quick here. And you can see this right here. It looks like possibly maybe two of these little objects are coming out really slowly in this CME here. Okay, and then that one just keeps dragging on as we have our big X flare now come off on this side over here. And it's so bright and filled in here, you can't really see it too well. So we're going to go over here to this red side again, and I'm going to blow this up. And now, hopefully you can see we have our little object right here, this little core object right here. And if maybe... oh, I can't reach it from there. And I think this is its magnetic field or something, but there appears to be an object here with maybe a smaller little one right behind it there. Let's pull back and proceed forward. There's a good shot of it. You can see it right in there. Here, let's even go to this one right here. Okay, and that's the image I used on the thumbnail right here. And if you look, you can see material is swirling around this. It's coming out, going around, and swirling in. It's got like a little spiral within a spiral inside of it. Then you can also see this plasma reacting, coming out, changing direction and arcing and going around either a bigger object here in the background or a magnetic field of this object, whichever it is. You can see that the sun is reacting to it. These wings are stretching as this continues to emerge from behind the occulter here. So let's continue on. Let's go through the whole screen. Sorry here. Give me just a second. So over here, now you can finally start to see it's starting to show right here in the middle, this little white dot right here in the middle. Now, as we go right here, you match up this little object is this little object right here. And in the next frame, you can see it's right here. But then it appears we have either a secondary object or something else. But here's the main object right here. You can see it right in here. It's probably spherical. It's just draped in a bunch of solar material, and we can only make out like the top part of it right there. But that's CME, and that was the X-flare. So I believe that this object caused that X-flare. Whatever it is, whatever these things are, solar or stellar cores, some of these look like they're even different. But now down here you can start to see the shape of this one still working, but it's still coming out. This one is now finished up and is moving out of frame. So we'll watch as this one takes shape. And it seems to have some kind of round, bigger, here's a small object right here that you can see. Let's go back just a few frames, because this appears, all right, right around here, this appears to be round, like there's a bigger object back here, and when you see this material come out from behind it, streak and go over it like an hourglass, you'll see the bigger shape. I mean, right here, something bigger round with the smaller little moon attached to it. As those move out of frame, you still got other little things squirting out here left and right. Now look at this one. This thing right here goes into the sun. I'm going to go forward now, watch. See that black dot go into there? So we got, and then this one happens. So back up just a little bit. We have this big black dot come in at this angle right here. This object comes in at this angle right there. And then moments later, we have this eruption right here, which appears to be another object. You can see our streaks coming back from behind it. Here you can make out a round little object in the center. And it appears to have a bigger mass, or either its magnetic field or a bigger object back behind it. And you can see how this material is stretched out, going down and reaching around it now. It's the hourglass type effect that I've been trying to point out in my other videos here. I forgot to bring my prop to demonstrate what's going on here. But anyways, it appears we have another bigger object with another smaller moon, or whatever it is, the object and its magnetic field. And then we have another, oh no, that's it. And that was it for the 17th. So let's put this back into motion here, and we'll let you watch all these things pop off. At the same time, we got stuff going in over here. We got objects bouncing and coming out. And that was a pretty good sized X-flare right there. Oh, hi, Barefoot Lass. Good. I'm glad you caught a live one. Nobody else was streaming right now, and I had the opportunity, and I didn't want to interrupt somebody else's stream, so I thought, oh, now's a good time. And I wanted to do one yesterday for Easter, but I was with my family and celebrating, and by the time we got back, it was a little too late. So now we're going back here to the 18th, just to watch this little bit of inflow. This cluster of objects coming in here is on the 18th there. And then we just looked at the 17th. We still got this weird kind of flow going in up here with objects bouncing out. And let's back up another day. Let's go to the 16th here. Let that load up real quick. And this is where I'd left off with my last reports here. So I think we covered this day and the objects captured in here. But here we are, another big CME. All these huge CMEs coming off left and right. But what I wanted to point out was right here is these objects or this inflow of some kind of material going against the solar wind and going in at that angle. And this is on the 16th. This is the beginning of this weird kind of flow right over here in this area. The 15th didn't have any of this kind of activity going on. It starts here on the 16th, the 17th, and now on the 18th. And, like I said before, every once in a while we catch a one or two kind of going in. But this is material that's way out here going in. And those loops that come off the sun never reach past this occulter. They barely get, the surface of the sun would be right here in the middle. They barely reach like a quarter inch off of that circle. So there's no way this is solar material, I don't think, going in. I think it's material coming from an outside source. Or this could be possibly some kind of debris field or whatever that's hitting the sun, bouncing off, and coming out at weird angles. So it started on the 16th, and now it's still happening here on the 18th. It's getting stronger. It looks like there's even more, and now there's some kind of small flow from the bottom. Two objects here. Zoom this one in again for you guys just real quick. So hopefully the camera picks that up. It looks like it's doing pretty good. Yeah, so all this flow, I want you to watch down here just real quick. There's two little objects that come out right here and right there and go in. So for a while, I've been used to seeing these objects coming out and all the flow coming out of the sun, but this is new. This is some kind of weird, I don't know how to explain this. I don't know what NASA's going to come up with to explain this kind of activity. These appear to be some kind of objects going in towards our sun. I don't know if they're going into the sun. They may be hitting the back side of the sphere or hitting the electromagnetic field and glancing off of it, bouncing out and coming out on this side is what possibly could be happening, because it seems to, as stuff flows in there, stuff pops out this side. See that? It appears that the stuff kind of goes in here, and it might be coming towards the sun at an angle from like behind the screen towards us. So this stuff might be coming from behind the sun towards us, and it appears that it's going in. So it might be behind the sun, hitting the backside of the sun, ricocheting off and coming out this side. Lots going on in these. And let's see, maybe I can pause it here. Where'd it go? Whoops. There was one. I want to see. These guys coming out right here. This one's making its own little CME, its own bow shock. This one's making its own little CME and a bow shock. But there appears to be something, I don't know, like either a craft or something solid in here, because it does leave these streaks coming back. And these ones aren't round and perfectly spherical, it appears, but they might be something else. And here comes a third one right here. I don't know if this is like maybe a cluster of meteor debris or something, and as it interacts with the sun, some of it burns up when it goes in, and some of it bounces off and comes out. And I'm not sure what's going on here, but I noticed this, and when I saw that, I'm like, this is a new little feature, not a feature, but a new activity that we haven't seen yet. So I'll be watching the sun closely. I'm going to be watching this spot closely. This is where we have these three giant sunspots that are rotating around to face Earth here pretty soon. And I'm wondering if whatever this activity going into the sun is what's causing these sunspots and causing that active region. And Maybe it's a reaction to the big X flare that maybe did some damage to the corona, and some of this stuff is coming back in to replace some missing corona. Who knows what's going on? But there's some kind of inflow, it looks like, going into the sun instead of out. So I had to bring that to you and report that to you guys. And also, these objects have been captured again. And like I said, Scott over at Planet X News does a really good job at cleaning these images up. And if you want to see this one that came out at the bottom of the sun, like I said, go over to his channel, give him a thumbs up because he does hard work too. And if it's right here on the 17th. Oh no, this is the 16th. Let's go refresh that real quick because I want to show that one last time. This one right there coming out down the bottom. Alright, so let's just... This one coming, squirting out the bottom of the sun right here. We don't have a lot of CME action coming out the bottom, so let me pause it. It's not too clear in this image, but if you know the shape and the shape and the bow shock, what to look for, you can tell that there was an object that came out of the sun right there. It was captured. Here's the instrument reacting to it, and over here on this red side picked it up a lot better. Hopefully you guys can see that. First, leave that there for a second. So yeah, that's the one that Planet X got a good clear image of it, and so we've had an X-class flare, a bunch of M-class flares. I think we had 5 M-class flares and a bunch of C-class flares. So the sun is super, super active lately, and it keeps coming up with new ways of wowing us with different kind of CME events, different objects, different kind of shaped filament ropes coming out, not one but 3 in a row. All kinds of crazy, crazy activity coming out of the sun. And now we have this new feature of stuff going in, what appears to be going in towards the sun, traveling into that zone where these 3 huge sunspots are. So I don't know if it's the sun sucking up some cosmic, some kind of cosmic debris or cosmic energy to replace what was lost, but you can see that flow there and how that was happening. Let's go other direction here. And even just this flow here on the 17th, you can see it going in. And even though that X flare had just gone by and stuff was streaking out, there was still stuff trying to go against it and go in. So that's crazy. For me, that's crazy because we're just seeing all kinds of crazy activity. All this stuff going on over here. This one was like slow motion. It took forever to come out. 3 other CMEs happened in the time that it took that one to come out slowly. So we're having slow motion ones, fast ones come out the bottom, big ones shooting off the side. All 3 in one day. Stuff going in, stuff coming out. All right, so that was Easter, and just as a little reminder of Easter, I'm going to close out with this little video here of what I captured on Easter on 2020. So for those of you who haven't seen this yet, I hope you enjoy this. For those of you who have, maybe you'll still enjoy it again. All right, let me back this up here real quick. Howdy folks, welcome back. So I know there's a lot of activity going on the sun, but I really don't feel like reporting on that stuff right now. Actually, I want to go back and revisit an event that happened earlier this year, 2020, around Easter, when I captured what appears to be Jesus in the clouds here. So I need you to tilt your head to the right about 45 degrees, and here's an eye, his other eye, his nose, his mouth, his chin and beard, his hair flowing back like this, and you can make out a crown up here above his head. That crown is hovering over his head. There seems to be almost a little halo around his head too. And once you see that image, then we can zoom in just a little bit tighter. There you go. Okay, and this event happened over a course of about an hour, and I got a lot of pictures of it. See, if we go up above here, you can see all these pictures up from way over here going across, or all of this event, and I'm going to show you more of what happened here. Okay, here I've taken about 7 or 8 of those pictures and put them together in a flip book, and you can see the different images, and that this event, you know, is taking place here because there's more that happens here. Okay, so starting here, we're going to go forward a little bit here through a lot of these images, all the way to right about here, where you can see that this face has changed now. Now we're seeing a more round, like lion type face with the nose right here. Here's an eye coming out here, an eye going that way. Here's its mouth slit, the chin going down here. So this round face right here with a crown still above it. Now I'm going to go through and show you the flip book where it changes from Jesus to this lion face. Okay, now we're here at this image right here. This is a flip book of about maybe 15 or 20 of those pictures, and it's the transition between Jesus's face and the lion face. Now this happened in the clouds, and it was so big and in your face you couldn't see it. It wasn't until I took these images and zoomed out and compressed them. You didn't zoom in. They're too big in your face. You have to zoom out to see these. And these images that you're looking at have all been compressed, each frame, and then put into a flip book. And you can clearly see Jesus' face here with his crown hovering over his head, turning into that weird little lion face or whatever right there. Okay? And this happened back around Easter of 2020. So, with Christmas right around the corner. All right. Well, that was Easter 2 years ago, you guys. Real stuff. These are real images. This is not a joke. This is actual stuff that I captured on my cameras. You guys, if you're taking pictures out there, look up. You know, like I said, a lot of these you can't see because they're too close in your face. These are a couple of dimensions back. It's like you're looking from God's perspective, from a couple of dimensions back from our perspective. So what I do is I compress these images, or I zoom out, and it makes the image smaller. It's an effect you could do by looking at an image from across the room. If it looks blurry when it's up close, back up and look at it from across the room, like 10 dimensions back, and you'll see it'll get clearer. So that's what's going on. This was captured on Easter. I had my cameras pointed at the sky yesterday, but our weather was pretty clear, so I didn't capture anything, but doesn't matter. I captured this right here. This is probably the most important information we've had in the last 2,000 years. I mean, this is what was promised in the Bible. You'll see him coming in the clouds with great power and glory. Well, that crown signifies great power, and the fact that he's got a crown also signifies glory. So right there, as promised in the Bible, happened right here in our skies on Easter. So, I mean, that's pretty profound. And I think that this is probably some of the most important information that we've ever had. And if you like what you see here, you guys share this with your loved ones, you know, and because this is important. It's important everybody gets to know. I think God's showing us signs, so we'll have more than faith. We'll actually know, and we'll be even stronger in our faith. So I just wanted to bring that to you guys and hopefully bring you some hope here. I know it's getting kind of bleak out there and things are looking pretty bad. So here's a little bit of hope. Just know that this is all real, that this is really happening, and here are the signs promised, and I was able to capture them and bring them to you. So I wanted to do it yesterday on Easter, but like I said, I was busy. So happy belated Easter, everybody. And share this with your friends and your family. If you got some people that are on the fence and they're wondering, they couldn't, show them this. Some people need evidence or whatever. You might be saving somebody's soul. You never know. So that's why I try to bring this stuff to you, because it's really important. And we'll close out with this last little image here. Where are we? This is the 18th, yeah. Here, let's pull it back down a little bit so it's clear. Actually, let's leave you with the 17th and that big X flare. Boom. So that X flare is going off to the side. It's not Earth facing, but some of these other little ones will graze us. I believe that this one coming out down lower, it's shooting south, but it's still coming in our direction. So we might get some side effects from this one. And this is the one that Planet X did, and shows you a nice clear image of this object without all the distortion and the coronal, material draping over it and hiding it. So please go over there, give him a thumbs up if you haven't yet. And just to let you guys know, we got some kind of weird activity up here where these sunspots are. So everybody keep your head on a swivel, hold on tight. I mean, there's going to be more, volcanic activity, more earthquakes. I think we've been kind of lucky with the earthquakes, thank God. But there's still other side effects that these things have on our planet. So just got to bring that to you, everybody. Tell you I love you all. Thank you, Barefoot Lass, for making it. I'm glad you made it to a live stream. Thank you, some of the other people that showed up. Who was the Walt? I see you there. Team Angel, thank you. Joseph, thank you. Yeah, thank you everybody for showing up. It was just kind of a quick little video stream I wanted to do and show you this new latest activity, because this is kind of disturbing. I'm wondering what's really going on over here, and how it's going to affect the sun and then eventually affect us. But that's it for now. I just wanted to say I love you all. I miss you all. God bless you all. I hope you all had a good Easter, and just hang in there. Keep praying. Keep your head on a swivel and hold on tight, because the ride's about to get bumpy, and you got real things, real things to believe in. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I love you all, and until my next video, bye. Love you.